When someone dies, there is a script. People know what to do. They bring food. They say I'm sorry for your loss. There is a funeral, a mass, a gathering. The community recognizes the shape of the grief and responds to it, because the loss has a name everyone understands. When a family relationship breaks, when a parent and child stop speaking, when siblings drift into permanent distance, when someone who should be at every holiday simply isn't anymore, there is no script. The person is alive. Maybe a few miles away. And the grief has nowhere to go. No one brings a meal. No one offers condolences. Because nothing has happened that anyone can point to and say, that's what's wrong. Family estrangement is the grief that doesn't get a funeral. It shows up at every holiday gathering as an empty chair that everyone notices and no one mentions. It shows up in the question "How is so-and-so?" asked innocently, landing with a weight the person asking doesn't intend. It shows up in the family photo where someone is missing. St. Paul wrote, "If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone." Notice what he didn't say. He didn't say peace is always possible. He didn't say the whole burden is yours. He said, as far as it depends on you. Do your part. Release what isn't yours to carry. This prayer is for the relationship that broke, and for your own heart, regardless of how the relationship ends. Let's pray. Father, there is a relationship in my family that is broken. Not in the dramatic, single-event way that makes for an easy story, though for some it began that way, with a rupture that had a date and a cause that can be named. For others it has been a slow drift, years of distance accumulating so gradually that no single day can be pointed to as the moment it became this wide. Either way, the relationship that should be close is not. The parent, the sibling, the child, the relative who should be present in my life, at the holidays, in the ordinary weeks, in the moments that matter, is absent. Sometimes by their choice. Sometimes by mine. Often by some combination that neither of us would describe the same way. And there is no funeral for this. When someone dies, the community gathers. There are rituals, the mass, the wake, the consolation that is offered and received because everyone understands the shape of the loss. Estrangement has none of that. The person is alive. They may be a few miles away. And the grief I carry has no recognized form. No one brings a meal, no one says I'm sorry for your loss, because nothing has happened that the people around me can easily name. I bring this grief to you today. The grief that doesn't get a funeral. The relationship that is a kind of ongoing death, present in its absence at every family gathering, every holiday, every moment when the empty place at the table is more conspicuous than any filled one could be. You see it. Even when no one else does. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Romans 12 verse 18. Lord, I want to sit with the honesty of this verse. St. Paul does not write, live at peace with everyone, full stop, no exceptions, regardless of what the other person does. He writes, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you. There is an acknowledgement built into the command itself, that peace is not always possible. That reconciliation requires two people, and one person's effort cannot manufacture the other's response. This matters to me today. Because part of the weight of estrangement is the question of fault, and the related question of what I am required to do. Some Catholics carry estrangement with the added burden of believing that if the relationship has not been restored, it must be because they have not tried hard enough, prayed hard enough, forgiven completely enough. As though every estrangement that remains unresolved is a personal spiritual failure. St. Paul does not teach that. He teaches that I am responsible for my part, the part that depends on me. My own willingness to forgive. My own freedom from bitterness. My own openness to reconciliation if it becomes possible. My own refusal to retaliate, to escalate, to close doors that are not mine to close. But the other person's part does not depend on me. Their willingness to engage, to acknowledge, to change, that is between them and you. I am not the author of their response. Help me to hold my part faithfully, and to release the part that is not mine to hold. Lord, before I pray for the other person, let me look honestly at myself. I confess whatever bitterness has taken root in me over this estrangement. The rehearsal of grievances, the conversations replayed, the case built and rebuilt, the certainty of my own rightness that may be accurate in its details and is still, regardless of its accuracy, a weight I am carrying that is not making me more like Christ. I confess the moments I have contributed to the distance. Whether through something I said or did that hurt, or through my own withdrawal, my own unwillingness to extend what reconciliation would require, my own comfort with the distance because the distance is, in some ways, easier than the relationship was. I confess the pride that sometimes underlies estrangement, the conviction that I have done nothing wrong, that the entire burden of repair belongs to the other person, that my own apology, if one is needed, is something I am waiting for them to deserve before I offer it. And I confess the times I have used this estrangement as an identity, the story I tell about myself, the wound I have allowed to become part of how I understand who I am, in a way that may have stopped serving the healing it was supposed to be part of and started serving something else. Lord, in the confession of these things, I am not assigning myself the blame for the whole estrangement. Some estrangements exist because of choices that genuinely belong to someone else, including situations of real harm where distance is not only understandable but wise and necessary. I am simply asking, what is mine? Show me. And give me the grace to address it. Father, I want to pray today for the person from whom I am estranged. I think of the father in the parable of the prodigal son, who did not chase after his son into the far country, did not send messages demanding return, did not withdraw the inheritance in retaliation for the insult of the request. He let his son go. And he watched the road. And when the son was still a long way off, he ran. I do not know if this relationship will ever be restored in this life. I am not going to pray as though I know the ending. But I can pray the way the father in the parable waited, without bitterness, without giving up hope, without closing the door even while accepting that I cannot force anyone through it. Lord, work in the heart of the person I am estranged from. Whatever needs to soften, soften it. Whatever needs to heal, heal it. If there is something they are carrying that has shaped their distance from me, a wound, a misunderstanding, a hurt I caused that I am not even fully aware of, bring it to light in a way that allows for healing rather than continued concealment. And if reconciliation is part of your plan for this relationship, let the door remain open on my side, even if it cannot yet open on theirs. Let me not be the reason it stays closed. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him and kissed him. Luke 15 verse 20. Lord, I need to pray honestly about something the parable does not fully address. Not every estrangement should end in reunion. Some family relationships involve real harm, abuse, manipulation, patterns of behavior that have not changed and show no sign of changing, situations where continued closeness would mean continued damage, not only to me but potentially to others I am responsible for protecting. The Church does not teach that forgiveness requires the restoration of access. I can forgive someone, release the bitterness, wish them well, pray for their genuine good, without reopening a relationship that was harmful. Forgiveness is about the state of my heart. Reconciliation is about a relationship between two people, and it requires safety, honesty, and change from both sides to be genuinely possible. If this is my situation, give me the wisdom to know the difference. To not confuse the absence of bitterness with an obligation to restore proximity. To protect myself and anyone in my care, with the same seriousness that love for the other person would require if the situation were different. And give me peace about this. The peace that comes not from resolving the unresolvable but from knowing I have done what is genuinely mine to do, forgiven, released, prayed, without being required to do what is not mine to do, which is to place myself or others back in harm's way. Lord, I want to pray specifically about the moments when this absence is most visible. The holiday gatherings where the empty chair says more than any conversation could. The family photos where someone is missing and everyone notices and no one mentions it. The milestones, births, graduations, weddings, funerals, that this person will not be present for, or that I will not be present for, because the estrangement has its own calendar that overlays the family's calendar with a second, sadder one. Be present in those moments, Lord. When the absence is loudest. When other people's questions, innocent, well-meaning questions about how is so-and-so, land with a weight the asker does not intend. Give me grace for those moments. Not the performance of being fine, the genuine peace that allows me to be present to the people who are there without being consumed by the absence of the person who is not. Father, I cannot control how this relationship ends. I cannot make someone want reconciliation who does not want it. I cannot undo history, rewrite what was said or done, or guarantee an outcome that depends on another person's free will. But I can do what is mine. I can forgive, fully, repeatedly, as many times as the bitterness tries to return. I can pray for this person's genuine good, even from a distance, even without contact. I can keep my own heart from hardening into something that would make reconciliation impossible even if the other person changed tomorrow. I can live at peace, as far as it depends on me. And I can trust you with what is not mine, the timeline, the other person's heart, the question of whether this side of eternity will ever see this relationship restored. If it is restored, let me be ready. Let the door I have kept open actually be open, not just in theory. If it is not, let me find peace that is real, not performed. Let the grief without a funeral find, in you, the consolation that the absence of ritual cannot provide. Our Lady, who knew what it was to lose her son and find him again, and to stand at the foot of the cross watching relationships unfold in ways she could not control, pray for every estranged family today. Amen. May the part that depends on you be done well today. The forgiveness offered, not because it has been earned, but because bitterness was never going to serve you. The door kept open, not pursued, not forced, simply not closed. The prayer offered for the other person's genuine good, even from a distance, even without any expectation of response. And may the part that does not depend on you be released, genuinely, not just in words. The timeline, the other person's heart, the question of whether this side of eternity will see this relationship restored. That belongs to God. If reconciliation comes, may you be ready, the door actually open and not just open in theory. If it does not, may you find peace that is real. The consolation that the absence of a funeral cannot provide, but that the God who sees every grief, named and unnamed, can. Our Lady, who knew loss and relationships she could not control, pray for every estranged family today. If these daily Catholic prayers are part of your life, support this channel through the PayPal link in the description. Every contribution keeps a new prayer coming every single day. Thank you if you feel led. New Catholic prayer on this channel every single day, for the feasts, the ordinary days, and the griefs that don't have a name. Subscribe and turn on notifications. If this prayer names something in your own family, leave a comment. You don't have to share details. Just, praying for my family today. Your honesty joins with everyone else carrying the same kind of unspoken grief. Like this and share it quietly with someone who needs to know their grief is real, even without a funeral. Thank you for praying with me. As far as it depends on you, do that. The rest belongs to Him. I'll see you tomorrow.